Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Despite the Fact podcast. And today is another day making $1 out of 50 cents. Okay, today we're going to be talking about a very, very sensitive topic, and we're going to be sharing some tips and some ideas on racism. So we're going to talk about racism in our workplace, in schools, with our children, in our community. And does racism, does it even exist at all? That's the question. Does it even exist at all in North America?
It does. Racism exists, especially, what we know is US. Everyone knows, but we are in Canada. So we will try to concentrate on Canadian our society. And so racism exists, but in Canada kind of is very subtle.
Okay.
It's not in your face. Maybe I'm wrong.
So it's not like shoved in your face how it will be in other places in the States where it's like pretty much strolling down the street.
Yeah. In the US, you're walking down the street, the police are harassing you because of the skin of your color. People are using the N-word,
Okay.
Here, kind of... I'm not speaking for everyone, but my experience, where I come from, and I've been in Canada for 10 years. So it's here, like where we your job place, your schools, you get that, you get it. But it's my experience. I think where I'm coming from, everybody is shaped on where. Because I grew up in Italy, and Italy is in my face. The opportunities are not there because of the skin of your color.
Oh wow.
And taking the bus, you can, people will just let you know.
That you know what, you are black.
Yeah, you're
okay.
Black.
So there's no if or but about it, but it's like they let you know your skin color is different.
It's different, and so let's say basta, you sit beside someone, and it become awkward. And
you know what? The same thing happens here too, in this city that we live in.
Yep. Yeah.
I remember way back when I used to take bus, where sometimes you get on the bus when I was in high school, you get on the bus and you realize there's only one seat left, and you go sit, and as soon as you sit there, the person just moves.
Oh, wow.
So it's here too. As soon as you sit, the person just moves, and there's this awkward silence, and people around you can tell, but then everybody's very silent, and everybody's looking to see if someone will say something.
Because
it's there, it's here.
Let's say but it's there, but there it can be in your face, and no one will defend you. Here you'll get people that will defend you, that will step up for you.
In some cases where people will stand up and be try and call the person out. But to me, I think even as I'm just looking at how far the world has been, and I'm looking back to things should we have to even deal with racism right now in this millennium world? As far as look at it now when if you go to a daycare center, I bet you if you count 10 kids, you see one mixed child in there. There's the black and the white are mixing. They're making children. They're 15 years from now, I could see more mixed children than anything else.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? But then the racism still, and even with the kids that are mixed, people don't forget to let them know they're black. I'm serious. And I'm like, what happened to the white side of them? Because there is also a part of them that is white. Why aren't you pointing on that?
Yeah, we will come back. We will go there.
So there's also that part.
I have a daughter, you have a son, so we will go there. Let's talk about experiences in the workplace and stuff. Because here in Canada, I haven't had any in my face racism, no backlash. Very, very diverse, because the workplace that you see yourself, you don't see only yourself. we a very diverse city. Like when I grew up, I live in Vancouver, so you see different types of like your own self in the office.
Okay.
You know. So in Calgary, there's also it's a diverse city, but I haven't had that experience. Have you had any?
No, I think I have. I would say like I'm just gonna talk about the city that I live in right now, which is Calgary, Alberta, and I've lived here since 2005. So I've lived here for quite a bit. I did my high school here. I did my college here. So I've lived here for quite a bit, and I would say in a way I think I've had to experience that. When was it? I think it was just once or twice. I remember after high school, I used to work in this retail shop, and I used to work there as a key holder. So, you know, a lady came in, she had like a little boy and then a baby. So I set up the fitting room for her. She was about to try on this. She's like, oh, can you hold on to the baby for me? So I'm like, okay, sure. So as I was about to reach onto the baby, the little boy goes like, the baby doesn't like black people. And this is me. My face is like,
wow.
Say what?
Wow.
In my head, I'm just, say that again?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like, did I hear him right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, am I just hearing voices now? Mm-hmm. Like, that was my reaction. I was just stunned. And in my head, the first thing that came into my head, where is this child hearing this from? Is it from home? Is it from TV? Is it from the parents? Are the parents racist? You know, everything was just, I felt mixed emotions right away. But then again, I also knew that, you know, the boy was very little. It's a child. So I'm just thinking, okay, charity begins at home. You know, and that's what they tell us when we were growing up. So everything, the mom was like, I am so sorry. Like, you know, the mom was like,
how old was he?
He was very little. I don't think he was even up to 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so to me, that was very surprising to me. And funny enough, as I went back to the back room, I broke down.
Oh, sorry.
I was so sad because I just felt that I was in a very safe environment. And a safe place, and it happened. Mm-hmm. So it was just an eye opener for me. I was just like, oh wow, like, you know, this actually does exist. So it doesn't take people anything to let you know you are black and your skin color is different. And I need to let you know your skin color is very different from mine.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
my skin color is different from yours. I mean, obvious, my skin color is different from yours, but in treatment, we have to treat each other with
each other fairly. It doesn't matter the race, the color, or anything.
Yeah, I have, because I always goes back to my experience. Even my daughter, the mom, we had that little bit of argument because, like, my daughter went to school and the mom felt that the teacher was being racist, unfair, but I was trying to. It wasn't like I was trying to deny it, but I was just trying to let's solve it.
Yeah, I think. And you know what? And I'll actually touch base with that because you know, sometimes as parents, I think we look at it this way that, you know what, my child goes to this school. And even at daycare too, even if there's any issue, I try to deal with it. I try to be very mindful of the fact, because at the end of the day, you're still going to leave in your child in their care.
Yeah, but
so you still want to deal with it in a way that you're not coming off as you're being aggressive or anything, but you want to resolve it in a way that, but then letting them know at the same time, I will let you know that I know that you are being, my child is being treated differently or unfair.
But sometimes you have to let them know you're serious, because her didn't want to give, like, I mean, she was serious, and I think she solved the problem.
Okay.
Maybe because I didn't have the experience of living in Canada.
Okay, she did.
And so she's been living here. Maybe she had the same experience.
Yeah, and at school, and one thing too that I think maybe from you living in Italy and the amount of racism, the experience you experience there, in your head you're trying to compare. Oh, this is nothing. Like in Italy I experienced worse than that. Yeah. So like you were kind of downplaying it in a way because you're trying to compare. Okay, that makes sense.
And like I think sometimes too, one should be, to solve problems with parenting and stuff. Maybe she is more in their face and I'm trying to cool things down. Yeah. And I think we were able to let the principal, vice principal and the school know that if they don't change the teacher or something
doesn't change,
we're gonna escalate it to where it has to be. Because for me, I'm talking about the mom. All her siblings went to the same school from kindergarten.
Exactly. So she probably knew that maybe her daughter wasn't treated fairly if she's had experience of, okay, all my siblings have been here and I know how things are being done here. Yes. So I feel like, okay, you know what, my child is not being treated fairly, or my child is being used, or my child has said this word that someone said to her and stuff, and sometimes it's just the wording of stuff too.
Let me tell you the word. So,
okay.
I was like, the mom told me that, my daughter started saying that she's black. She's black.
Mm-hmm. And that's because probably someone told her that.
Yeah, so my daughter, she was like, she's 6 years that time. 6, 7 years. 6. Now she's 7. Yeah. 6. So, we never had that. I know she's black. She's black. But we never had any conversation with her for her to come home. Oh, I'm black. I'm black. Yeah. I was like,
But the next time it comes up, you need to tell her black is beautiful, and she is a beautiful black young girl, and she is intelligent, and she's fabulous, and she's just a princess.
So I asked her, she's like, another kid says it to her.
Okay.
Another.
So you see, it's just being shoved in her face right there. That's where I was trying to say, people don't hesitate to let you know you're black, just right in your face. She knows she's black. She doesn't need you telling her she's black.
She's black.
She knows that. She knows her identity. I don't think she's lost.
And so we confronted them, and the teacher was like, it's part of the curriculum.
Yes, they talk about skin colors, genders, and other.
But I'm not a teacher. I don't know.
You're like, I don't really know what this is all about.
I don't know that. My experience is all tech. It's not about how to teach kids, but how did these kids? Maybe they went home and talk about it, and how did it became like the kid was trying to bully her.
Okay, so maybe it's different from someone telling you, are you black, trying to be curious, compared to someone telling you, you're black, you know that, right? You're black. You're black. Those are two different things, okay? It's different from someone being curious. Like, I've gone to somewhere where either I have my natural hair out and I have it blowed out and it's so full and fluffy, and then someone is curious. Oh, and asking permission, can I feel your hair? Compared to someone saying, looking at me in a very nasty, your hair needs to be combed out. They look, you get that look where it's like, did you wash your hair today? Your hair needs to be combed out. I know what my hair is. So it's just the body language and at which someone will interpret. And as much as they're kids, they can interpret stuff like, okay, this person is being this way towards me.
She because she was giving us, she was crying. Crying out loud.
She was crying,
saying it because why would she come and always say
always repetitively telling me that I'm black. Someone told me I'm black in school. So
So I told her, she's beautiful, she's black. And the mom gave her encouragement, and they went to the school to resolve all these.
Okay,
but I think they got a teacher for her. Like, we tried to solve it. Now I always ask about how is it doing. He said, yeah. I think it made her not want to go back to school.
Yeah, she felt some sort of way. She felt very different.
Yeah.
She felt very different in the class. She felt, and that's the truth. You know, most of the time, a lot of people will be like, "Oh, you're black, so what?" Do you know how it feels to be just one color in one class? Maybe you're in a class of, maybe you have like 20, 30 people, and you're the only colored person sitting in that class.
Yeah. And,
even though you're there to learn, and people are like, "You're there to learn," and just focus on that. But then I always want to flip the table around, whereby we have another color of white in a room of just black people, just one white person sitting there.
Yeah, what?
They're gonna feel uncomfortable too.
Yeah,
right?
but it's not like.
So
I mean, for me, I don't really say uncomfortable. I mean, if we are all welcoming.
If we are welcoming towards each other, yes.
I mean, we all have white friends, I have black friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all grow. But
the thing is, I work around them, I work with them, so.
Yeah. So if it's something that someone is using against you, like, let's say, for me, back in Italy and back when I was a juniors, I was 16, 17, yeah. Kind of you working with someone and the person makes a mistake and they blame you
because you look like the fine black guy.
Yeah,
who has to be blamed for that mistake.
Yeah, and you talk about it and they let you know. And they even use the N-word in front of you.
Oh, like, no. Yeah. You don't, with me, you see, the thing with me is I think sometimes too, like, I'm very friendly, but then at the same time, I tell people I won't take this from you. Mm-hmm. I let you know, even from my body language and everything, and I set the boundaries right there. So I think most of the time too, using the N-word in a workplace, really? That is very harsh.
You know, it's the culture, like anything that happens.
And this was where? In Italy?
In Italy, when I was
the racism that was harsh.
Now, it's like, you know what? We can fight back. But the fighting back, like, because you're vulnerable, who are you fighting? What are you fighting to?
It's just like one person fighting like a whole nation. Like, it just doesn't even...
I mean, why the lawyer is going to fight for you? Who's going to... Because... the system, I'm not saying that the whole system, but the system is not good for black people or for minorities. So, well,
the system was never built for us in the first place. So
that's why sometimes I kind of like, I know Canada is a land of opportunities, and you can be whatever you want. Because I can. The mayor is black, is a brown person. I can see my own self in parliament. I see black people there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those also give me motivation to kind of like, okay, you know what? It's there, but I want to fight because I'll get voices behind me.
Okay.
You know, that's kind of something that, but I think the school system, even
I actually have a question. Okay, so now my question comes to now: do we educate our children about who they are in terms of their skin color and all that before they actually start going to school?
No, for me.
Do you think so, or do you think that we should? I actually do think that we should have some sort of conversation that, hey, this might come up, and if it does come up, this is how you respond, or this is how
I know, but I think
because this is something that
they are too young. Sometimes
but you know what? It's better for us to groom them up from when they're very little. Let them know, because trust me, this world is an unfair place.
It is.
Okay, it is very unfair to the fair people. Like, you know, it's we live in a place where, you know, it's somehow it's gonna come in their face. So I think, you know, conversations need to be made. And as time goes on, you deepen the conversation with your child that, this is something that will come up. Now, let them know who they are and give them that courage of letting them know this is your skin color, and no matter what, it's not going to change. But you know what? Your skin color doesn't determine who you're going to be. Your skin color doesn't determine that, hey, you can't be what you want to be. Just allowing them to embrace themselves.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's
So to me, I just feel like having that conversation, because right now, like your daughter, it was very new to her. Like someone calling her that she's black and she's black, and
I didn't.
Even though she knew she was black,
she knew because why she's black. I watch movies with her.
Exactly.
I show her. I buy toys for her. She knew all these, but why should it be in her? Using it as a race, like, saying it in
her face.
You're not saying it because, okay, I'm white, you black, okay, let's play white, black. Yeah. So we always get that also from another minorities who are very ignorant about. I mean, they are on the receiving end of racism. And they channel it back onto another race.
But then, don't you think there's also black on black?
That's not racism.
So what is that?
That's
discrimination.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
So racism is kind of like because of your skin
color. Okay. But there's always going to be that, because I was going to say there's always that black on black. But my question is now, if there's that black and black, and we are fighting that we should be treated the same way.
Yeah, but white and white fights. So
yes, we do.
People fight.
We need to.
Yeah, so if I'm fighting with my brother, who are you to tell me? Who are you to do different? Yeah, I'm fighting with a black person. Doesn't mean
you hate them or you. Okay, that makes sense.
It's just people fight. Even in the thing that we are saying, people have arguments, people fight. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to, because of my skin color, I cannot get married to another white person. I can't come to the restaurant. I can't come to the bar. You go to the bar and everyone is looking at you. You'll be sitting there and the person is not even serving you.
You feel like you're just left out.
You just left out. Yeah, it's something that's, I mean,
we're laughing about this, but that's the reality. It happens.
It happens.
It happens. And I've also, there's been also some experience whereby you realize some companies, as you could see that, what, I really, really qualify for this position, but you keep applying and so well. Mm-hmm. That you're not being called, you're not being picked, but then someone else is doing that same position with a lesser experience and qualification. It's just so, it's very hard to break through. So, and sometimes we wonder, like, what do we do? Because I feel like, even in our fields, right? As a woman of color or as a man of color, if the other color is doing just one more thing, mm-hmm. you need to work 10 times harder to get that position. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
So that's like the system. Is like a culture thing?
That's what I said. The system in the first place was not built or set up for the black people or for the black man. It wasn't.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that we have improved?
You know what? I think it's gotten better from where we're coming from. Okay. I think it's gotten better because now you go to companies and you see the management level, executive directors. Like when you go up there, you see women of colors, men of color. Like you see people of colors in management position. Okay. Things have changed. As much as we want to talk about how racism exists, we also need to talk about the good side. Like things have actually changed. Gotcha.
Yeah,
it has.
But why should it?
But have we gotten to where we're supposed to be? No, we haven't. But then,
as you say, the good side, things should be good. Automatically it should be. it should be normal. Don't say, I would say, this is normal, then, okay, now we got to the normal. Before we were in the awkward place. Now we're in the normal. Now we have to improve. Because let's say management and stuff, you go to the US, I was reading a research by Georgetown University or something like that. Maybe they said 1 in 100 black gets that position in every
1 out of 100.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
So I mean, where are the 99?
Yeah, so that means even if you have the qualification, you have the education, you have all the experience, you're not gonna get it. So because if it's 1 in 100, the chances of you being picked out of that 1 in 100, that's a high one.
It's a high one. So I think we have to. We will fight for it. We're not gonna give up.
Yes, so, we will continue to. The only thing I keep telling you just do you and do your best. And I always tell people, I never forget I'm black. I never do. So I do my things very differently. When people are slacking, I don't slack with them. No, when they're slacking, I don't slack with them because you know what? Guess what? Because their slacking might be overlooked. Mine might not be overlooked.
So
in workplaces,
punishment is different.
No, yes, because sometimes you know what, hey, you might have a deadline. Hey, you might think, you know what, oh, the other colleagues is Friday, everyone is slacking, we're winding down, so I'm not gonna really get my report in today. Well, honey, you better get your report in because guess what, you might not be. I like I said, I always know who I am. And so therefore I know where to I know where to play. Okay. I'm not gonna say, okay, this person is not doing this, so honey, it comes down to even with our kids. And you know what, I remember when I was in high school, at that time I used to live with my uncle and the wife, and they used to constantly tell me, you don't go fooling with them because trust me, when it comes, you are going to be the one receiving the punishment. If anything happens wrong, you're going to be the one being picked out. So I was very careful. In high school, I had no friends.
Because of it?
Yes, because I just didn't, because I knew that if I went to do any bad things with them and in the crowd, if I was the only black person in it, I was going to be the one picked out, that I was the one that did that wrong thing, even though it might not be me.
Yeah, they pick you because you're beautiful. So
that could be it too.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah,
my uncle used to tell me that all the time. So I was very, very careful. Like I was very careful in high school. I didn't have much friends. I think I knew just one person that I always, and a few, 2 of my Jamaican friends that we will always meet up for lunch and all that. But I was extremely very careful because I think I constantly heard that, you be careful of the friends you roll with in high school. If they're going to break into people's car, don't follow them because you're going to be the one being blamed for it. So I was very, very careful.
Talking about high school, so is it common in universities? Is it common?
You know what? In university, I went to college and I didn't really experience much of that, but I also it does exist in colleges, university, it does. I remember one time a teacher told me that that wasn't the class for me and I do not belong to that class.
Like why?
Because what is it called? There was a paper we wrote. I didn't think the mark that was given to me was fair, so I challenged it. So she kind of felt that I was challenged because once you challenge it, then it goes to a higher person, and then they reassess your paper, and then they reassess, they'll evaluate it again. When they did, it wasn't evaluated fairly, so she kind of felt, and I realized that since then, the tension I had in that class, I couldn't wait for that class to end.
And you thought because you're black.
And I felt, yes,
you felt. Yeah.
I felt that way because in my head, I'm like, if it was someone else who wrote this paper, would they have been graded the same way? And for me, and that is the reason why I like online schooling so much, because you don't see my face, you don't know who I am, you're only judging me based on my writing.
At the end of the day, they will say it. No, trust me, they will say it, because we put a camera, and these days it's virtual cameras.
No, I'm not looking about like virtual classes, like online classes where you're not going to virtual. Like everything is online. You do your assignments, submit everything in. So you're not doing like a virtual classes or anything. No, there's that part where you're doing strictly online, and there's no, when you need help, you email your instructor or whatever it is. But then there's no virtual online. And I like those. Do you know why? Because I feel like you don't get to see who I am. And for me, my name Trina passes for a white person very well.
No, but I feel like, but how are we going to fight or overcome it if we don't face it head on? So sometimes, like how you how you challenge the lady, the teacher, and it went to another teacher. You challenged her.
Thinking of it though, I wasn't challenging, I was challenging my paper.
No, but you challenged her decision.
I just wanted to make sure that I get a fair grade.
A fair grade, and because you did it, she thought she wasn't treating you fair, but you were able to overcome it, and you became successful.
Actually, guess what? I ended up switching the class.
You did?
Yes, I ended up doing that because I realized that every paper that we wrote, she found every opportunity to somehow grade it, and I wasn't ready to be doing the back and forth and the energy. I was going to class having a lot of anxiety because she was going to be there, so I ended up switching to another a different time, but then same class with a different instructor. Yeah, because the tension was just too much, the anxiety was too much. It just wasn't working.
So, our topic for the day: racism in education and employment. So,
and with our children.
But that's, our children in schools and stuff. Canada. What will you grade it, man? Like, are they doing well to tackle the problem, or you think they don't care?
We're going to let our viewers let us know. If you watch this and if you live anywhere in Canada, let us know. Do you think racism and where you live, do you think it does exist? Or do you think it's people are fairly, fair? With me, I think it's good.
I mean,
based on where I live, right? Once in a while it gets thrown at you, but
Yeah, I mean, we're not trying to reduce racism to levels. So they say, okay, I got peace and stuff. Everything is not good. So the best is, Canada and US, the difference is obvious based on some people disagree with me that maybe it's here. It's like it's very common and stuff, and it's in your face. But for me, being in Calgary, I've been here maybe 6 months. I haven't had that experience yet.
You haven't had that?
I haven't had it like with the police.
No.
So like Europe, where you grew up, you can't even drive a good car.
But you know why? I had an encounter with a police officer once.
And you thought because of...
No, actually, I was very shocked, and I got pulled over, and he reached out for my seatbelt, and his hand touched my chest, my breast, and I thought that was... In my head, I'm like, you pulled me over. Why are you reaching out for my seat? I think maybe he just wanted... I think he wanted to check if my seatbelt was so he can issue another ticket. But guess what? I made a complaint to his supervisor. I called, I put in a complaint, and guess what? I got an apology.
Oh, you got an apology.
I did. I got an apology. So you know what? Calgary Police Services... I don't think, I got an apology. Yes, I did.
So that's very good.
I think it was top notch. They acknowledged that, maybe, the police officer might have been having a rough day, and he's a very good police officer, and he extends his apology. He wasn't trying to forcefully remove me from my seat or anything. I think he was probably trying to see if my seatbelt was actually clicked in or whatever it is. But yeah, but they were very responsive to the complaint.
Very respectful.
And very respectful, yeah.
Other locations based on Big Brother there, it's like they stop you are dead. I mean, it's not like
it's very different.
Yeah, it's very
in other countries, other cities.
Countries and stuff. This city, I mean, I haven't been here to give judgment to Calgary yet, but the only thing I can say about it is I got 2 tickets. Police. Please.
Okay. Well, Calgary police, they don't play with your ticket, so you better be careful because there could be 2 of them parked on one street.
I'm coming from Vancouver, so I told Calgary.
But I told you the Calgary police don't play with tickets.
I was going at 30 miles per hour. I think that place. 30 is school.
30 is school zone and playground.
I was going like it was 40.
Yeah, they will still give you a ticket. You're going 30 kilometers above the speed limit.
Calgary police, you got me 2 tickets in a month. No, in 3 months. That's my first ticket ever in Canada. After living here for 10 years.
Well,
and this is what you
know, but then I tell you, Calgary police, they're diligent when it comes to issuing tickets. So you gotta be careful when you're in this city. So they're very good.
Yeah. So the police chief, please do something about the ticket.
Please don't do nothing because he was speeding.
No, but 40.
And if it's for...
No, I didn't see it. You know, one thing about Calgary police is, and this, how they put the signboards and the roads.
Oh, it's very clear, honey. It's usually in big yellow.
No.
It's very clear. No. I'm not gonna agree with you on that one. It's very clear. And if and the thing is that if it's a playground and it's school zone, like I always tell my mind.
No,
I have a child could be crossing.
I didn't say. I don't think it's you know this. What's it called?
What is it called?
Memorial? No.
A Memorial Drive?
No. Elbow Drive.
Elbow. Okay.
After Safeway, like you go. I think it's rich people area, and just put it there just to stop.
No, I think there's I think because even some of the urban areas have like really low speed limits. So
please, 30 and I'm 40. Please do something about it. I already paid $120.
Yeah, you already paid, so that's a cost 90 right there.
I wanted to challenge it.
Okay.
I don't have time to go to court.
So yeah, we're just gonna wrap up here. So today, I think we all kind of agree that racism somehow it does still exist,
it is.
And I think it's it's about time we recognize it. We educate our children about it, be able to handle it very well in your workplaces. Let us know in the comment below if you've experienced any racism in your community, in your workplace, in your children's school, daycare, or anywhere. Let us know in the comment below and how you handled it. So in the next time, we will see you next time.
Oh, you forgot. Now we on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
And we're gonna insert our Instagram. We're gonna put our IG and everything there. We're on TikTok.
Yeah, soon we'll be on Spotify. So
yeah, so you can listen audio.